Good afternoon and welcome to Rogue Gateway Rotary. All right, Jody, would you like to come up and do the pledge?
Please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. And Bev, I think you have an inspiration for us today. That's loud.
The inspiration I stole from the Navigator, Steve Rose, magical things that he puts at the end of the Navigator. And you just have to click view entire message if you want to see all those things he puts on there. But there's two quotes that I wanted to say from it. The first one's really quick. It's Alice Walker. And it's thank you is the best prayer that anyone could say. Okay. And the other one is Mahmoud Darwish, and he's a Palestinian poet, considered a resistance poet. It's sort of long. As you prepare your breakfast, think of others. Do not forget the pigeon's food. As you conduct wars, think of others. Do not forget those who seek peace. As you pay your water bill, think of others, those who are nursed by clouds. As you return home to your home, think of others. Do not forget the people of the camps. As you sleep and count the stars, think of others, those who have nowhere to sleep. As you liberate yourself in metaphor, think of others, those who have lost the right to speak. As you think of others far away, think of yourself. If only I were a candle in the dark.
Thank you. That's beautiful. All right, please be seated. Okay, I'm looking around the room for visiting Rotarians and on Zoom land, but I don't see any visiting Rotarians, but I do see an old friend of the club. Brenda, would you like to introduce our friend? Welcome back to Bobby Winters. Hello. Nice to see you. Michelle, do you have a guest?
Know some from his relic activities.
Thank you. Back here. Any other guests? Didn't see anyone. Don't see anyone online. I think it's just us. Wonderful. Well, welcome everyone. Okay, before we get to announcements, I've got at least one. I don't see Julie, but we have one other blue badge presentation to make. Kirk Brown. I'm gonna come up and this probably should have happened sooner, considering that Kirk is a past district governor and from another district, and he's now the district annual fund chair. It just seemed a little wrong that you were still sporting a red badge. So
Thank you.
thought we'd fix that for you. All right, we have another one next time. Let's see. Okay. Announcements. I have a whole slew of announcements, but I think Tommy's going to. Okay, and I'm not sure if Patty Hansen has an announcement to make, but we'll start with the ones I've got. So some dates that are coming up that you might want to be aware of. For anybody who's not aware, if you're new to the club or new to Rotary, hopefully everybody here is familiar with the what used to be the Rotary Duck Derby, which is the big fundraiser all 4 clubs in Josephine County used to put on every year. We would raise somewhere around $80,000 to go to some big capital projects, many times, multi-year projects. And of course, with COVID, that went away. And now the groups are trying to determine what's the next thing going to be. We're not going to do the duck derby as it was before anymore, but we're looking for something similar, some fundraising effort that all 4 clubs can join in on, that we can get our community engaged in, and again, contribute to a great capital project in the community. So if you're interested in helping brainstorm what that might look like, and there are some ideas that have been floated around already, but if you're interested in participating in that, there will be a planning meeting on March 9th, which is next Thursday at 5 o'clock in the evening at the Weekend Beer Company. So if you're interested, show up. You do not, if you do attend, that does not obligate you to being part of the planning committee forever. You don't automatically become a committee chair, so don't get scared away by that. But if you just want to help kind of be part of the conversation to think about what that might look like, what another event might look like, they're going to have the first meeting on March 9th at 5. The other exciting thing that's happening between all 4 clubs in Josephine County is that in 2024, we will be the host of the district conference. So every year the district hosts a conference where all of the Rotarians from all of the clubs in District 5110 come. And for those of you who might not know, our district goes all the way down to like Wairika, California, up to Albany, and then pretty much all the way across west to Klamath Falls. So we incorporate a pretty big area. And usually our conferences are in Eugene or in Bend. But in 2024, which is the year that Nelson Mailer will be district governor, and he is a member of the Grants Pass Rotary Club, we're going to be hosting. So that means our 4 clubs will be organizing the conference that year. So if you're interested in helping with that, helping with the conference planning, there is a group that has already been formed that will be meeting on the 2nd Tuesday of every month at noon at the Chamber of Commerce office. And their next meeting will be March 14th. So if you're interested in helping think about what that looks like, I think they've already nailed down venues. We're going to be doing a dinner out at Wildlife Images. We're going to be doing most of our plenary sessions at the PAC, the Performing Arts Center, and having kind of the little breakfast lunch stuff at the high school commons. But if you want to help plan some of the other activities that happen around conference, or some of the keynote speakers that we might bring in, show up to that planning meeting on March 14th. And then other save the dates, which you don't have to memorize right now. And these are all in the email that I sent out to you, but just to kind of have in the back of your mind. May 4th, May is going to be a busy month. May 4th is the Illinois Valley Track Meet that Rotary helps to support. So if you want to volunteer and go out to the IV. On May 6th, which is just a couple days later, we have the Grants Pass Rotary International Track Meet, or Invitational Track Meet, which is a really big event that our clubs host here. So if you're interested in volunteering in that, we'll be hearing from the chairs next week. May 11th, which is a Thursday evening, we're going to be doing an all club social out at Wildlife Images. I think we did this last year as well, so that should be a hit. Bring your family. June 23rd, the Grants Pass Rotary Club is hosting a social, and they're inviting all Rotarians from all 4 clubs to join them. They're having a concert at the Rogue Bowl. It's going to be, the band is American Contraband, which is a local rock group. And they're going to have partake there, serving wine and food that you can order. So it should just be a fun evening for Rotarians to enjoy together. And then that very next day, June 24th, is the Illinois Valley Rotary Club's big fundraising event, which is the Siskiyou Folk and Bluegrass Festival out at Lake Selmac. So keep your eyes open on those emails, and we'll get it into the navigator as well, so you can start putting those dates on your calendars. All right, Tommy.
Every meeting I get to do that. So, some great news. Doug's not here today, huh? Oh, okay. Well, the great news is that last night, the city council passed the approval to get the veterans building on the property that we donated, that Doug talked about last time or the time before. Anyway, I'm so excited that the city approved the ARPA funds so that we can get started. You know, we send these guys off, and this goes along with your peace state, that poet. we send these guys off and they come home struggling, and I'm so glad that we were able to help them. And so in that line is also the virtual Global Peace Conference coming up on Friday. It's a free conference. You can pick and choose what you want. Steve kindly put it into the newsletter so you could see what the schedule is. The opening is going to be kind of interesting. I'm interested in seeing how they do it. They have several people. It's going to be interfaith dialogue, which I think should be pretty interesting in this time where religion kind of makes a difference in lots of areas of the world. And then there's another one that's on Afghan and Iran women and what's going on there. And all of our global water scholars are going to come. The one, Najib, who's from Afghanistan, and his wife will attend. And then last year was Dina Kaskina from Kazakhstan. And then this year's Bohikadan, I'm not even going to go near his last name. He's from Uzbekistan. So they're all excited. I let them know about it, and they're going to be attending some of the breakout sessions. So if you want, it's a nice opportunity to learn more about Rotary's one of our fundamental goals of peace in the world, and peace through many different avenues. And these guys are all water studies that I just mentioned, and that's definite peace kind of a thing we need. So anyway, oh, and next week is grants. So we'll hear from 3 or 4 people, probably, at least 3 I know of. Jody will be one, and Jim will be another one, and that Jim up there will be another one. And so anybody if you have an idea of how we should spend some of our money on district matching grants, get your application into me. It's also linked in the Navigator by Steve. Thank you.
All right. Patty, did you have an update that you wanted to share about Porch Fest?
Sure. I think there's 2 updates. One is that we announced last week the winners of the recipients of the net proceeds from Porch Fest is CASA, Family Solutions, Project Youth Plus, Growing Together. There's one other. Let me look.
Is it Maslow? Somebody's asking.
Pardon?
Maslow?
Yes. Sorry. I should have had it in front of me.
Thank you, Jody.
Okay, and the second is pretty good news. Our fundraising group has identified $41,000 of people that we can approach and ask for a sponsorship. Of those 41,000, we've approached people for 28,000. So we've actually given letters, had conversations, and we have got a commitment for 18,000 already. So
Wonderful.
it's and this is only 1st of March, so we're doing good.
Very nice. Wonderful. Congratulations. And thank you to that group for all their hard work. All right. Do we have any other announcements that we may have missed? No, on Zoom land. All right. Well, then it's time for our favorite meeting of the month, and that is our member vocational. And so I'd like to introduce Michelle Keip to come up and tell us a little bit about herself.
Wow. Thank you so much for welcoming me into this beautiful Rotary Collective. I feel so fortunate to be here with all of you, and this opportunity for you to get to know me a little more. And what a process for me to get to know myself a little more. And, reviewing my life of 70 years and wondering, well, what do I want to share that might be of interest? So what an opportunity. I'd like to especially thank Brenda who said, "You're a Rotarian. You need to come here." She also said, "I'm a rainbow grandma." So thank you, Brenda. And thank you, Bev, who's been helping me navigate the process of becoming a member. And then I had a great fireside meeting with Janie this last week and really opened my eyes to the international opportunities, which was kind of an internal surprise because I grew up, like 7 of my growing years were overseas. I was a Navy brat. I grew up basically in international schools. And so being a global citizen and of service to all people, a protector of peace has been with me my whole life. And I thought, like, moving to Grants Pass, that was over, but I'm beginning to think, starting to get activated again, and I'm excited about that. So just what a fantastic organization. And I have so much more to learn, and thank you. Yeah, so I finally came up on the theme that I want to share with you, my hairpin turns in my life. So I grew up in an unsafe home. And so, as you may know, those of you who have studied about ACEs, if you have an unsafe situation, you compensate by trying to get in control, right? So very organized, got to know what I'm doing. And then on the other hand, I love to dance, right? So I love those hairpin turns, and I walk the labyrinth is one of my primary practices. And that's where I finally learned hairpin turn, you know, going along and then whoop, oh my gosh, it's a whole new world. I like that spirit of adventure. And so, yeah, next time you walk the labyrinth, notice the hairpin turns. Yeah, so I'm going to start with age 6. Oh, how much time do I have? Okay. Okay, great. So when I was age 6, I took my first dance class, and oh my gosh, I knew what I was going to be for the rest of my life. However, when I told my mom, she said, "Oh, you're in that dad, and I have been talking, and you can't dance. We won't support that." So it was a big trauma for me. And with my family, the way it was, I just accepted that and, contracted, hid that away in my heart. The next year, I had a moment where I was looking in the mirror and I saw my father and my mother, and it's like, power over, power under. I have to find the way in between. The power with was just this great horizon of possibility. That's what Aikido is all about. And we hear about that a lot, right? What would it be like if we're power with instead of over and under? So at age 7, there was already that kind of foreshadowing that I would find people who had that vision. And then when I was age 8 and we were living in Rome, we were traveling to one of those great estates with all the sculptured gardens, and the plants don't look like plants because they've been shaped into triangles and stuff like that. And I was walking along and I just realized, oh my gosh, everything is alive. Everything is alive. But nobody around me believes that. I had been studying, though, about the ancient Greeks, and that idea had been fed to me. The ancient Greeks believed that there's spirit in everything. And it's like, oh, those are my people. Here we go again, foreshadowing. Aikido means to join the energy of nature. So at that young age, again, kind of like, I know this, but I don't know who to talk to about it. So I'm just going to file that away and have that be my secret. So I'd like to pause right now and invite all of you to join me in a very simple centering practice. It's I've given you a little bookmark there. And this is a really nice centering practice because it's child friendly. So super simple. And I would say that centering is the foundation of Aikido. It's a falling art. So we're falling and then we're getting up and then we're like, whoa, centering again. So it's not about holding center, but about just returning to center. Great life skill, right? And then being compassionate when we're a little like, whoa, okay, I'll find my way back. All right. So I invite you to step one is breathe in and out. Breathing helps us come into the present moment and into our bodies. It's always there. Just breathing in and out. If you want to close your eyes or not, it's your choice. It can be helpful to take at least 3 breaths for this first step, to come more and more present through the breath. And then root like a tree. So now let's bring our breath into this beautiful vertical core that connects earth and the stars. So breathing down and feel your body just softening and settling into your roots. Not slouching, but holding that uprightness of a tree, but opening those feet. Feeling the beautiful earth that's always here to nourish and support us. Let's take 3 breaths, rooting like a tree. So it's a softening and settling, but also feet are opening up and there's a little percolating going on. Which leads us to number 3. So now we feel that the roots rising through our vertical core, rising up and open like a flower. So I like to use just a full flower and imagine now that from center, your energy field is opening up to include the environment. So if your eyes are closed, this would be a good time to open your eyes and just be breathing. And just like a flower, you're sending your fragrance out and you're attracting pollinators and beauty, expanding into the open space. Feeling your vertical core still, your roots. And now this 4th step, the invite equality, takes it past regular mindfulness of just being present to our choice. So just asking, what quality would I like to have a little more of right now? It might be ease, might be feistiness, compassion. Just ask inside, what quality would nourish me right now? It might come as a feeling, as a word, as a color, who knows? Just invite that. And then again, like 3 breaths of now bringing it out of the mental of what is that quality to feeling the energetic of that in your body. So this is the embodiment phase of where that energy actually starts to mobilize in the body, becoming a resource for you, stronger. All right. Thank you so much. And I have a few more bookmarks if anyone didn't get one. I graduated from UC Berkeley and I'd always dreamed of going to Africa. So off I went to Morocco on my own and I got very sick, food poisoning, oh my gosh, and was taken into a Moroccan family, a very poor family, 7 people in 4 rooms. And they gave me one of their rooms and they sat with me 24/7. There was always someone accompanying me until I got better. Took about 4 days. This totally changed my life. I had experienced when I was sick, I was put away. You know, I was a nuisance and just isolated, alone and afraid. And here I was in this environment. They didn't have any money, but boy, did they have love and care, and gave it to me, a complete stranger. I was just like so transformed by that experience. Foreshadowing of becoming a nurse, wanting to learn more about how to be with other people. And that happened in Morocco too. Lots of people came up to me and said, help, I need this, I need that, but health-wise. So I went back to UC San Francisco and was in their first graduating classes to become a nurse, and became a home health care nurse and hospice nurse for 15 years. However, let's see. Yeah. No, that's coming a little later. So soon after I got back from Morocco, I went to a clinic, a women's clinic, and the practitioner said, you're completely out of your body. Hairpin turn, like, I am, but what does that mean and what do I do about it? So here again, you know, the armoring of my childhood was evident to this person. So that's when my whole exploration, I got dancing again at 26 and massage. And then that led me to Aikido. And I started that. And after I had been doing Aikido for only 1 year, I was visiting my parents for Thanksgiving. And I was in the kitchen with my mom, telling her about something I was really excited about. And from behind, my father comes to swing at me with a roundhouse punch. I'm 30 years old for Thanksgiving, get it? And I did an Aikido move. I didn't even see him coming, but I felt him and I did this move and he fell back against the refrigerator and never hit me again. So that was when my fascination with positive neuroplasticity began. Anybody heard of positive neuroplasticity? It's about the power to change, to rewire our nervous system, and basically really shift who we are in a very profound way. And so I learned on that day that after only 1 year of training, my response was peaceful, non-harming, accurate, and it did the job. I had never resisted his attacks in my whole life. And here I was able to do it in a beautiful way. So that was when I got hooked on Aikido. Like, oh my gosh, I need to practice this. This has so much to offer. Hairpin turn, right? Did not see that one coming. Oh, goody. The next one is meeting David. I met David on the Aikido mat, and we just had this energetic connection. And I'll tell you, 3 months before I met him, I had decided I am never going to go out with a man again, right? I was just fed up. And so I definitely was not, did not pick up on any cues, but he was fun to train with. And then one night when I was visiting him and I was kind of relaxing, closing my eyes, and he was going off to work. And what did you just do? And he's standing in the doorway going like this. And he said, oh, I just sent an energetic protective blanket over you. I didn't know that it actually does anything. And so that was super bonding, because that energetic connection, that I could feel that across the room with my eyes closed. And then he got the feedback like, yeah, this is really happening. So that's something that bonded us very closely and deepened our love and commitment to Aikido. Well, then we had our one child, Rory, in '88. And my next hairpin turn, well, kind of Rory, of course, was like that. Like, wow, my luck is taking a turn. This beautiful child, so peaceful. But I got cancer when he was 11 months old, still a babe in arms. And out of that, I started doing deeper therapy and getting help. Like, how come my immune system didn't protect me? Right? That's what cancer is. Our immune system is failing. And so what I got in touch with, one of the healing modalities I learned about in my nursing was finding your childhood dream. That your childhood dream has the passion and the energy of your essence and your joie de vivre. And so it's like, oh, the dance. I have to come back to that. And so I decided that I would need to stop nursing, which took me 7 years to let go of the money and find my way. And David and I began Core Dynamics, which was self-defense and empowerment trainings for women. And but I'm not going to go much into that. However, it was profoundly healing for me and for so many people. And we did that for quite a few years. And at age 50, so let's see, I'd been doing Aikido for about 20 years. And I have a very strong need to know my purpose and what I'm doing. And so I made a journey to my 80-year-old self. And she showed me that I would be teaching samurai sprouts. It didn't have that name yet, but I knew that I needed to start developing a program to teach young children Aikido. And so that's where Samurai Sprouts began. I shared with you a little bit that I'm just starting that at the Growing Together Center for age 4 and 5. I'm dropping down to even younger than I've ever taught, which is very exciting. It requires a lot of centering on my part. And I realized out of preparing this talk that I'm in a hairpin turn right now, because during COVID, I let go of Aikido. We couldn't train. And so as the years went on, was like, I need to just let go because I might not get it back. And so now I'm back, but it's different. I don't have a dojo. I'm in a community center. I'm with younger children. It's just so very different for me. And being part of this Rotary is a little bit of a hairpin turn, like, who are you and what are we doing and what's my part? So it's just a very exciting time of opening for me. And I'm really grateful to be with all of you for the support that I feel in this beautiful community, and that we all want to make the world a better place. Yeah. And so what I thought, I did want to read a little bit of some Aikido. Sensei, I have 5 more minutes. Okay, great. So I wanted to read to you some quotes from Sensei, the founder of Aikido. Aikido is a very young art. The founder just died in 76. And so I've had the privilege of training with many people who train directly with him. I'm sort of like the grandchild in terms of the lineage. So it's a very new art, and I feel very grateful to have the opportunity to be developing a program to reach the very young, right? We want these seeds get sprouted early. So let's see, page 18. So these are the words of the founder, Morihei Ueshiba. We call him O-sensei, which means great teacher. The art of peace functions everywhere on earth, in realms ranging from the vastness of space down to the tiniest plants and animals. The life force is all pervasive and its strength boundless. The art of peace allows us to perceive and tap into that tremendous reserve of universal energy. Depending on the circumstance, you should be hard as a diamond, flexible as a willow, smooth flowing like water, or empty as space. So that quote was a lot what inspired me with the shapes and the elements. This represents the 5 elements, and all those shapes then become techniques. But that flexibility of shaping and changing according to what's appropriate and needed really resonated with me and is so meaningful to me to bring to our children. 77. So now we're getting a little less Zen and some technique quotes from him. When an opponent comes forward, move in and greet him. If he wants to pull back, send him on his way. If your heart is large enough to envelop your adversaries, this is our practice really, to love our enemies. You can see straight through them and avoid their attacks. We're looking at their essence. And once you envelop them, you will be able to guide them along a path indicated to you by heaven and earth. Whew. That's quite an aspiration, isn't it? But I feel that here in this Rotary. Right? So I just wanted to go, I put together my list of my current commitments that I'd like to share with you. So I'm doing Sprout a Reader at the library on Thursday mornings, and the moms in 0 to 5 come, and it's just such a joy. And then the Samurai Sprouts at Growing Together. And then I have a 4-year-old child who I companion once a week, Oki. And I'm a surrogate grandma for Kaimari and Sequoia. Kaimari's 8, Sequoia's 18 months, and Mama is pregnant with a baby on the way. So I'm a busy grandma, surrogate grandma. And David and I are members of the Unitarian Universalist Church here. Perhaps some of you have known David's parents, Margaret and Fred Keip, have been long-term members of this community, my in-laws. And we basically moved up here from my hospice background. I said, we've got to move up before they need us and really get to know them. And so just this December, they moved into Countryside, and whew, are we glad we're here. And it's a very beautiful time for our family. And I'm grateful for my hospice skills and my nursing skills behind me of navigating the healthcare system and all that. And just hanging in there with the family. And at the UUGP, my specialty as a volunteer there is scouting for inspirational speakers. So I want to invite all of you on March 19, Jesse Poidak, who I met through Brenda, is going to be coming and sharing about his experience from as a Native American, from practicing his religion, being against the law as a child, to now being an elder spiritual leader in the community. And so he'll be at the UUGP. You can go to uugp.org or ask me or Brenda for details on that beautiful event. We're going to have drumming, and it's going to be awesome. And building the soil at our land is really important to me and David. Right now we're working on biochar, again, thanks to Brenda. We learned some good stuff about that. And yeah, I'm just looking ahead. I'm really curious about my fit with this community, which I know will grow and change, and my relationship with each and every one of you. I look forward to making connection. And then I'd also like to facilitate a group for adults on the positive neuroplasticity, a practice group. So if that resonates with any of you, it's amazing stuff. And I can also just send you to a website or something if you want to learn more. Right now, I'm in a year-long intensive program for learning how to do it even better. So I think that's enough of me sharing, and I would love if anybody has any questions or anything. I think we got a couple of minutes for that. Bev, yeah. Uh-huh. Mhm. Oh, oh, oh. Positive neuroplasticity is for all human beings. However, I think it has really come to the forefront because of ACEs. That we understood through ACEs that the children's behavior problems isn't actually their problem. It's because they have needs that haven't been met. And they need certain things in order to bring back balance and competencies to be in balance. So basically, our nervous system is the system that runs everything. Our brain at the top, but our whole nervous system, and it's plastic, which we didn't know until recently. We thought that it was set from early childhood, but we can learn, we can practice. Like I said, I practiced Aikido and all of a sudden I could do something I couldn't do before without even thinking, because I had rewired my nervous system. Does that answer your question? Yeah. So it's helpful for everyone. And that's partly why mindfulness is becoming so big everywhere, but especially in the schools and in Grants Pass, that our children need to learn how to self-regulate. So that's a lot what self-regulating does. If our body is just acting randomly with no good habits, we can learn good habits to know how to regulate ourselves, for example. Thank you for that question. Anyone else?
Question from online about how to find out more about the group you're starting.
Oh, yeah. Well, today I'm announcing it. Yeah. So, but I'm super excited. So please contact me. And, we don't need a lot of people to practice. It really kind of takes two. Can you put my contact info in there and people know how to reach me? And you've got my bookmark. So that's another way to reach me. But here, when you do centering, you're practicing positive neuroplasticity. Right there. Anyone else? Just a show of hands, anyone who might be interested in doing a practice group? Great. Yeah, we could get that going. Once a week, get together for an hour and practice. We all know about how important that is. All right, I think we're good. Yeah, any other questions or comments? Yes. Oh, yeah. Well, I grew up here and there in California and then Rome, Italy for 3 years at those very crucial developmental years of 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh my gosh. And traveling all over Europe was amazing. And then Washington, D.C. for 4 years and get me out of here. And my dad, bless his heart, did hear how desperate I was and retired from the Navy and got a job at World Health Organization in Geneva, Switzerland, where I went to high school. Ooh la la, what a great learning experience. We had the Student United Nations and I really, yeah. And then Berkeley and I went to Brown, but didn't like it, to Ivory Tower. And pretty much California since then. Thank you. We good?
Yeah. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right, I think Lutz is gonna be Sergeant at Arms today and lead us through Happy Bucks.
Filling in for Kelly. Couple of important things happening this month. One is that all over the world, dudists are celebrating a very important week leading up to March 6th, which is the Day of the Dude. It's the Day of the Dude because it's the day that The Big Lebowski was released in the United States. And it's an important day to abide, to just sit on your couch in your bathrobe, having a White Russian, maybe bowling in the evening, but it's just relaxing. Okay, so an important week coming up. Another thing is this month for Rotary is the theme for the month is water, sanitation, and hygiene. Rotary International since 2013 has spent $130 million on 2,000 different projects to help create good water, hygiene, etc. We're going to be involved via GEM in a project to tie into that. On a more personal note, this week in relation to water, something weird started happening with my well. And so the well people came out and said, well, looks like you may have to have a new pump. And so I stomped around for a while out there, feeling sorry for myself. Wow, $2,000. But then I started thinking about how lucky we are here in terms of the kind of water that we have available, how fresh it is. I always love coming back from trips to strange places and tasting the water out of my well and thinking how lucky I am. So to start off, Happy Bucks, I've got $10, got $5 for the dude, and $5 for water. Anybody else? I got $5 for that picture of you in your hot tub. That's worth a lot more than. Yeah, I've got people that are really.
The March is St. Keys, which benefits the food bank. So I have been starting today by asking River by their St. Cheese special, which was fabulous, by the way. And so look at the paper and you got this there. One of the $2 of every sandwich from all the 17 locations goes to benefit food banks. So just make my fun.
Well, I think you'll like this. Happy Bucks is that. The spring training is over for baseball. Real season's going to start. Sad Bucks, Dodgers lost their shortstop, starting shortstop for the season, but one of the CL. So we're going to have shortstop. So I got about 5 months to having Sad Bucks.
I think if we talk to them, then it'll be great. I want to have time. Anybody out there in Zoom? Nobody? Okay.
We have a couple happy bucks donated to Las Vegas after a overnight drive this morning. So he's safe and he's with a cat baby, and you all know cat. They're going to a tour of those boxable houses that you just walks up, they get brought in on pallets and then you just put them together and they have everything in them. So that's what I'm going to check out.
Do they have a maid?
And Happy Bucks for rippling out the good news about positive neuroplasticity. Maybe some of you, I'm excited about that. And then just Happy Bucks for all of you today for trying generously to make things.
It'll be a meeting online.
Hi, everybody. I have 20 Happy Bucks for a couple of different things. One is I'm going to piggyback on Gina Marie's praise of on Bev's praise of the message from Steve. Last week or the week before, there was something at the end of the message, there was a concert and a gentleman was teaching people how to sing happy birthday. It was hilarious and it was inspiring because it was all about being intentional and about possibilities. Kind of remind me of Sally Snyder and how she taught us how to sing happy birthday. Well, Tuesday was my granddaughter's 20th birthday. And so that was my birthday card to her and she loved it. She said she's never had a birthday card quite like that one. So that's part of my happy bucks. My also happy bucks are also for Michelle. I loved your presentation, Michelle, and I'm totally interested in neuroplasticity. I have been studying for that with the Al-Anon group, and I think it's fascinating, and I think it's really, really in need. And I love the fact that you're working with 3 to 4 year olds. They'll have a lot easier time because their brains are equally flexible to their bodies. And so that's awesome. And that is it. Thank you.
I love all the work that Doug and Jed, Patty, Hanson have done to make this, that little happy houses work. And I know it's a long way out. There's only $640 for the water, because the city approved water and sewer to come out. Anyway, I'm excited to see how it works out. Anybody else? You ever still got the picture for $5?
Thanks, Liz. All right. So reminder that next week, our program is our club assembly around grants. So we've got several club members who will be presenting ideas for projects that we might participate in and seek district grant funding for. So if you're interested to learn more about those, please be sure to be here next week. And today is National Read Across America Day and coincides with, I believe, Dr. Seuss's birthday. And so a quote from Dr. Seuss: "The more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go." All right, everybody have a wonderful day and we'll see you next week.